Family, what up? I have a question for you today. It's with a little sense of urgency. Here's the word. Here's the question. It is, what are you doing? Serious question that I'm asking right now. What are you doing? What are you doing with your gifts? What are you doing with your talents? What are you doing with your time? What are you doing with your resources? With all of the challenges that are happening in us and around us, this is the perfect opportunity for us to create. This is the perfect opportunity for us to partner, collaborate, be in the right environments where solutions are being discussed. There's something that's happening June 6th and 7th that I think will be a perfect opportunity for all of us to come together. And it's our second installment of Infusion. And the focus and the theme is the word innovate. Oh yeah, we're going to be talking solutions. We're going to be talking creating. We're going to be talking renovating. We're going to be talking modernizing. We're going to be talking about progress and moving forward because the solution is within us. So if you feel stuck, you want to be there June 6th and 7th. You feel frustrated, you want to be there June 6th and 7th because there is something you can do about it. I've invited my good brother, Dr. Jamon Glenn, to join us as we curate this education to give us the tools that we need to be innovative. Sometimes necessity is the fuel for innovation. And I believe now is the time for us to create. See you June 6th and 7th. Family, what's up? What's happening? Happy Tuesday, everyone. Thank you for joining in tonight. Let's go ahead and let's tag some people as you log on. Greatly appreciate you all. Wanted to come on tonight. You know, we've been dedicating Tuesday nights as Infusion Talks. We're talking everything Infusion Summer 2025. That's coming up June 6th and 7th. Tonight, I'm solo tonight. Wanted to share some things with you all, those that are watching live, those that will be watching the replay. I wanted to share just a couple of things about the weekend, about Infusion, what's happening, about innovation, sharing some news on or some information on those that are participating, our guest speaker, our resident worship leader. Man, it's just exciting to have some friends who are helping you carry out, the assignment that God has placed on your heart. And so we are just a few weeks away. Registration is open. Registration is live. So we want you to tap in. We're going to put the registration in the comment section as well as put the registration in the caption. All you have to do is just click the link, pay your $50. It will capture your email address and we'll send you some updated information at the end of the week about Infusion, how it's going to go down, how you pick up your registration information and packet once you are live. And so, we're going to make sure you have everything that you need so that you can have an impactful weekend. We're excited about what God is going to do. Tonight, it is my hope and prayer to give a couple of scholarships for the weekend so that those who would like to attend, we have a couple of sponsorships that we want to make available to some people so that you can be in the room. As you log in, definitely share your name. Let me know that you are live with us tonight as we talk about Infusion. I'm grateful to God for the opportunity to carry this vision, work the plan, the strategy that God has given for this time in this season. And so, as you know, or as you've seen the flyer, the theme and the focus is innovate. The theme and the focus is innovate. And part of innovation is creating. Part of innovation is solving. Part of innovation is producing answers to needs, answers to questions. What's happening? How can we resolve this? Sometimes all we need to do is sit down, come up with something creative, do something different, and in doing something different, it would make a difference. And so we're gathering, we're creating space, a room, an environment of creativity. We have some of my brothers coming to help infuse, that creativity. Sometimes it's about the environment. Sometimes you got to be in the right environment to be inspired, to create, to be inspired to come up with solutions. As the promo video shared, or as the intro shared tonight, with everything that's happening, we have to be creative. The time that we're living in, we have to be innovative, because if you keep doing the same thing over and over again, you're going to continue to get the same results. Sometimes it's about stepping outside of our comfort zone, stepping outside of our routine, and doing something different, that it would yield the results that we desire to see. Sometimes, if you're working out, sometimes you have to switch up the routine. Sometimes it's about moving swiftly in a shorter span of time, right? And in that shorter span of time, you're burning more calories versus, you taking 35, 40 minutes to work out, do the same workout and try to do it in under 20 minutes, right? It's about being innovative so that you can reach your results. If you're in a relationship, right? Relationship, hit a spot, you're trying to work on communication. All right, what can I do different to communicate better, to articulate better, right? What can I do to revive the passion, right? How do I manage the in betweens? How do I manage the gaps and spaces in our growth and our transformation and the changes that are happening in our lives and in our relationships, right? It's about being innovative. It's about being creative and all that it can do to help you accomplish a goal. So we've set aside time June 6th and 7th, and we're calling pastors, we're calling leaders, we're calling business professionals, faith-based. You don't have to be saved, but so we want you to come as well, because the strategy is the strategy, the plan is the plan, innovation is innovation, and uh, God can speak to us in a myriad of ways, right? It just doesn't have to come one way. It can come through a myriad of ways. So we're inviting you out for June 6th and 7th. Like, just consider it a revival centered around creating, a revival centered around creation, right? We get the preach word, we get worship, right? We get instructions. And then on Saturday, we sit and be a part of panels and part of discussions and part of workshops, right? To help facilitate and educate and give us the tools that we need, right, to execute God's vision and God's plan for our life. I want you to understand this. We will thrive in this season. This year, we will thrive. And I know for most of us, the first 5 months of this year have been hell, absolute hell. Resistance every step of the way. Turbulence, hard to catch a bounce. But we're strategizing, we're planning, we're executing the plan, right? Because we're not allowing the situation to dictate our movements. We adjust, we pivot, right? When we pivot, it may not be how we originally planned, but in that pivot, we create, we become innovative, right? We modernize, we change, we adjust, we switch up. And that will help us to gain momentum if we don't have it, pick up momentum if we started and it's been a little slow. And this, weekend is designed with you in mind. This weekend is designed with you in mind. And so, we're inviting you out. We are looking forward to all of those who are looking to make changes, that are looking to pivot or have pivoted and now trying to gain some momentum. This is going to be a great weekend. On June 6th, it's our worship encounter. And now in our worship encounter, we open up with prayer. My sister Kiana Coley will be opening us up in prayer and intercession. worship and song will be from our resident worship leader, my brother Percy Robinson. This time has been called the poor. This time has been called the poor. That is when we come after a week of work, after a week of errands, after a week of doing homework, after a week of budgeting, after a week of meetings. We come collectively to worship corporately. My brother Percy Robinson is an anointed and gifted person, not just worship leader, but person who loves God, have a passion to lead God's people in corporate worship. And so this is the perfect opportunity for you to let go, let God. This is the perfect opportunity to lift your hearts, your voices, to worship the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords corporately. And it's an exciting time. It's high. The spirit, the presence of God is high. You feel the tangible, you experience the tangible presence of God during our time of worship and song. Uh, it's a flow, it's a move, right? It's not scripted, it's authentic, it's from the heart. And we encourage people during that time of worship and song. We encourage you to lift your hands, we encourage you to dance, we encourage you to lift your voice, and sing. And we encourage you to lift your voice and praise, right? Offer up worship through your voice, an audible worship, an audible praise that produces a sound, right? That heaven interprets. Right? And this is our time. This is the pour. We're empty vessels, and God's presence is pouring into us, and our spirits and our souls are connecting with the power and the presence of God. That's what happens during the segment of the pour. And then we have the word. And I'm excited that my brother Jamon Glenn. Make sure y'all stay tuned throughout the week. We're going to be dropping some clips of Dr. Jamon Glenn and my brother Percy Robinson so that you can get connected to what we are looking forward to experiencing on June 6th and June 7th, right? And we'll share with you. So make sure when we drop those clips that you are sharing, you are telling people about Infusion, that you make a commitment to be there, make a commitment to register. You have 2 days, two opportunities. Let me say this: for June 6th, you do not have to register to attend the worship encounter. You do not have to register to attend the worship encounter. So after a week of work, after a week of meetings, after a week of budgeting, after a week of just doing your routine, I want y'all to come and be a part of Friday night. It's going to be absolutely amazing. Just corporately, when the people of God from different cities, from different counties, coming together to worship God on a Friday evening. On a Friday evening, it's going to be electrifying. And I'm telling you, like, even with the words and the vernacular and the vocabulary, it still does not describe the live event. It's nothing like being in the room. And we want y'all in the room. We want to see you in the room. We want to see you in the room. And so, this whole encounter, it's the infusion. It's the infusion. And when God gave this to me back at the end of 2023, to launch in 2024, infusion is about creating an environment for healing, creating an environment for education, creating an environment for renewing thoughts, sharing strategies, ideas, dreams, connecting and networking to create viable partnerships that are profitable, partnerships that are edifying, partnerships that help you to carry out God's assignment and his will for your life. These are not just any connections. These are godly connections that are being made. And I'm grateful that over the past, year, doing this, when we launched last year, from my brother Evan Risher, from Dallas, Texas, coming, and he encouraged us to build, right? He encouraged us to build. And my brother, um, Derek Etienne, Percy Robinson, at the end of 2024, they talked about 2025, the year of activation. And so we've been activating some things, and we were encouraged. Like, sometimes waiting for the perfect opportunity. The perfect opportunity is when the opportunity presents itself. And sometimes we have to be careful that we don't become paralyzed by the mindset or the characteristics of perfectionism. We have to be careful, because when that happens, we won't start until we think it's perfect. We've procrastinated. We've lost some time, potentially momentum. And so we want to, be a spark plug for you to step out on faith. Be a spark plug for you to jump, take the leap. Be a spark plug to operate in, bold or audacity, right? Bold audacity or courageous audacity, right? That's our word. That's our word that we've been using for this year after we experienced the the winter infusion back in March. We're talking courageous audacity. We're stepping out, trusting God, right? And when you're stepping out, trusting God, you have to be innovative. You can't get stuck in routine because of the way God moves, because of the way God deals and God speaks. You have to be innovative. You have to be creative. You have to be nimble, right? You have to be flexible, because we're moving outside of our comfort zone. We're moving outside of our routine. So Infusion, we're talking solutions. Infusion, we're talking being creative, finding a space for creativity, right? We're talking cultivating what you have and employing your gifts, making use of them. And I don't know about you, but I need this environment. I'm not talking about it in this season. I'm creating it. It's a whole bar. I'm not talking about it this season. I'm creating it. I'm creating it this season. I'm making it this season. I'm making it happen by the power of God. He has not given me the spirit of fear, but he's given me the spirit of power, love, and a sound mind. Deke, how you doing? And we're stepping out. God, the God of creativity, sons and daughters, we've been created in his image and in his likeness. So let's create. It's in our DNA to create. There are moments when we feel stuck, but it's not for us to remain stuck. This is when we need to tap into our godness, our God qualities, the ability to be innovative, the ability to create, the ability to make. It's in our spiritual DNA. And the Holy Spirit is for more than speaking in tongues. It is to help us create. The debt you have, become innovative and reduce the debt. Eliminate the debt. Right? This conversation is broad. This conversation crosses different industries. This conversation spans the job markets. We got to be innovative. Innovation in this season will be the key ingredient for those who win and thrive. You're too anointed to be stuck. You're too anointed to be stuck. Use that anointing to create and come out of being stuck. You're too anointed to live in frustration. Something is causing that resistance, or something is causing that buffering that's initiating frustration. Step back, breathe, and create. Innovate. Activate the innovation that's inside of you. Back in March, we, talked about soul care, right? And if you've been applying what was learned that weekend, then you should be able to be innovative because you're taking care of your soul. You're having that self-care. You're allowing yourself to rest, to regenerate, to replenish, right? Because the more you replenish, the more energy you'll have to be innovative, the clearer you will think. The clearer you will think. Some of our lives are just so convoluted with things that we can't think clear. So that means we must declutter our minds so that we can think clearer. If we're thinking clearer, then we can be innovative. We apply those disciplines so that we can see winning and thriving results in our lives. So listen, I'm excited about June 6th and 7th. You're listening to this, I want you to share it. We're coming together June 6th and 7th. Leaders, pastors, faith-based community, business owners, business professionals. We want to see you in the building. We want to create a room where there are some great partnerships that can be formed, great relationships that can be formed to carry out God's assignment for our lives. I'm grateful for all of you. We have a prayer community that we pray with on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. And we've been praying about this innovation, this topic of innovation. No matter what happens in the White House, you tap into that innovation, you're going to thrive. You're going to find winning solutions. You're going to have the courage that you need to step out and implement those winning ideas. In you is something great. And I know it may seem hard right now, but I need you to show up every day. I need you to wake up and I need you to show up every single day. If it don't get better, you're going to get better. Yeah, if it don't change, you're going to change. So we're not even invested in the situation as much as we're invested in our growth. Our focus is our growth. And if we're going to grow, we got to be innovative. We got to be creative. You got to think inside and outside, around, up, on top, and under the box. We're challenged. Do something different. Your breakthrough awaits, but it's in you doing something different. It's in you being innovative. Overcome fear of failure. You won't learn until you try. God will meet you at your place of faith, which means that if you're not working, then it's not faith, because faith without works is dead. So he will meet you at your place of faith if you're moving, because the Lord responds to faith, stepping out on faith or stepping out in faith. I believe God. And so because I believe God, these are the things that are guiding my decision, my faith and my belief. I'm doing infusion out of obedience to God. Been praying about that. I'm doing infusion out of obedience to God because I believe it's something that's needed, and God will meet our need. God will meet the need of each and every one of us. God will meet the need for infusion. God met us through providing the space. God is meeting us through the budget. God is meeting us through the interaction and the impact that is going to have on our life as we experience and post. I'm trying to tell you, God's not playing about you. He's definitely providing what's needed. If you just shift your focus, you'll see that he's providing what's needed. So family, meet us June 6th and 7th. Thank you so much for logging in tonight. Those that are watching the replay, thank you for logging in. I want you to share this. Meet us June 6th and 7th. I want you to also register. I want you to register. I want you to be a part of this weekend. Uh, I think it's going to be something special. Every opportunity that we've had, I want to every opportunity that we've had to host Infusion, God has shown up. God has favored us. God has given us instructions to grow as individuals as well as the organizations that we are a part of. God has shown us favor with those who have partnered with us, those who have been keynote speakers. God has favored us and He's encouraged us in so many different ways. And you could talk to anyone who has experienced and been a part of Infusion, and they will tell you it was what they needed. And so we pray about that because we don't want it to just be another conference. We don't want it to be just something that, that we do. Don't want it to be just something that we do. Want it to be something that's life impacting. We're coming in with expectation. We believe God, right? We're coming in with expectations. We believe God. We believe God. We believe God. And so let's touch and agree. Let's partner in faith as we step out. Pray that you will step out with us. God is going to do some amazing things. We just got to show up and be in the right place. So thank you all for your time tonight. Getting ready to put some more work in because we believe, God, that Infusion is going to be something special. So I appreciate you all. Next Tuesday, we're speaking with some business owners, some leaders in some local ministries, people that I've had the opportunity to work with over the past, few years. And I'm looking forward to these conversations every Tuesday night. The last one will be Tuesday, June 3rd. Join me every Tuesday night for these conversations. They're going to be blessed. We're looking forward to all of you joining in with us. So, make sure you show love. Meet me here every Tuesday night. Tomorrow morning, also meet us for prayer. Meet us for prayer. 6:30 a.m. Meet us for prayer. We can't do anything without prayer. We need the power and presence of God, and we get that during our time of prayer, y'all. So, love you all. Appreciate you all. Thanks for logging in tonight. If you would like to attend, so I don't know when you're going to listen to this. If you would like to attend, you have an opportunity. We had 3 scholarships available. First 3 people that will hear this and that inbox me, we will give you a scholarship to register and be a part of Saturday's Infusion. All right, with Dr. Jamone Glenn. Be a part of Saturday's Infusion. So inbox me if you want that scholarship. All right. Peace and blessings, family. Appreciate you. We're live tomorrow morning, 6:30 a.m. We're going to be praying. All right. God bless. See you then.
Family, what up? I have a question for you today. It's with a little sense of urgency. Here's the word. Here's the question. It is, what are you doing? Serious question that I'm asking right now. What are you doing? What are you doing with your gifts? What are you doing with your talents? What are you doing with your time? What are you doing with your resources? With all of the challenges that are happening in us and around us, this is the perfect opportunity for us to create. This is the perfect opportunity for us to partner, collaborate, be in the right environments where solutions are being discussed. There's something that's happening June 6th and 7th that I think will be a perfect opportunity for all of us to come together. And it's our second installment of Infusion. And the focus and the theme is the word innovate. Oh yeah, we're going to be talking solutions. We're going to be talking creating. We're going to be talking renovating. We're going to be talking modernizing. We're going to be talking about progress and moving forward because the solution is within us. So if you feel stuck, you want to be there June 6th and 7th. You feel frustrated, you want to be there June 6th and 7th because there is something you can do about it. I've invited my good brother, Dr. Jamon Glenn, to join us as we curate this education to give us the tools that we need to be innovative. Sometimes necessity is the fuel for innovation. And I believe now is the time for us to create. See you June 6th and 7th.